everybody, welcome to Wandering Wild. I'm here with my brother John today. We're back where we're from, Utah, together. But John just had an amazing trip to Vietnam. It was his first solo trip, and it sounds like it was a pretty incredible experience, right?
Yeah, it was really short, only like 9 days, I think, but it was like so much fun. Vietnam was definitely my favorite country I've been to so far. Super, super beautiful, met amazing people, but yeah, it was so much fun. We were all in Thailand together, and then one day I was just like, I think I want to go to Vietnam. And so then I left everyone and went alone.
For those who didn't hear in our other episode, we all planned on going to Vietnam together, but we had issues with our visas, so unfortunately we couldn't go. But I'm really happy that John still got the opportunity to go. And you mostly hung out in the north, yeah?
Yeah, I did the Ha Giang Loop, which definitely recommend doing the Ha Giang Loop if you're in Vietnam. Like, I know I've heard a lot of people say that it's like one of their favorite things they've done, and I can see why. It is like very touristy, and I tend to not like touristy things. I don't know, something about it was just so fun. If you do it, you can try to find a hostel that has like smaller groups of people. The hostel I did it with had a very large group. There were probably 100 people doing the loop at the same time, but they split it into smaller groups. So you'd have like a group of like 10 to 11 people, which made it a lot of fun because you had your smaller group that you got super close with. And then at the end of the day, you had 100 people to have a huge party with and, hang out with.
What hostel did you do it through?
It's called Bong Hostel. I recommend them. It was just a lot of fun because you do have your smaller group and then you have a big group at the end. So it's like you get the best of both worlds, I think. And you have time to stop at fun little things. Like we went on a boat on a river and we went to a waterfall. A lot of fun things you get to do with the smaller groups. You get to explore a little bit more.
What do you feel like made it the most fun? Was it the people that you were with, or do you feel like you could have been with any group of people and the experience would have just made you guys bond regardless?
It depends because like there were a lot of people there and I definitely got really close with everyone in my group, but obviously like there were people there that I didn't really like very much in the big group. But I didn't have to hang out with them. I got to be kind of picky with who I hung out with. But I do think I did get lucky with my group and was very close with my group. I think you could possibly get a group that's not as good, but everyone's there doing the same thing. Everyone's there doing the loop. Everyone's like, they're all doing this awesome thing, and not just anybody's going to do this awesome thing.
Right.
So chances are you all have something in common and you can all.
Yeah, it kind of draws in a really cool crowd of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It was kind of weird in the beginning because the people I got closest to in my group were these four guys, and they were all traveling together. So it was kind of weird at first, like trying to get into their group because they're all been friends since they were little and they're all traveling together. So it was weird. Like they almost didn't like want to let someone else in,
Right.
But then once I got to know them, it was like, they're some of my best friends now.
Yeah.
We still message each other on Instagram. We're all,
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the cool things about solo traveling, though, is the way, like, it's fun traveling with friends, too, but the way that they're in a group like that, they're not going to meet as many people as you're meeting on your own because you don't have anyone else, so you're kind of forced out there. We traveled together for about 3 weeks, the three of us. We were together almost every day. So what was it like going from that to on your own?
honestly, it was kind of nice. I was nervous at first just to be like going to a new country. Like, I don't know the rules. I don't know the language. I don't know all these things. And so it's kind of scary going alone because like before I had you've done this a lot. And so we had you to like do that. And then we had like Rowan, he was, really good at talking to people. So he helped us make friends and things like that. But then it was just all of a sudden I had to figure out transportation, a place to stay. I had to talk to people, all of it I had to do, completely on my own. Obviously like I'm capable of doing that, but is easier if you have other people. So it was a little scary, but then as soon as I got there, I like started walking around and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
this is fun.
kinda cool.
But I really wanted to get a banh mi after I got off the airplane because we've been like wanting a banh mi so bad because I just heard so many good things. And so I got off the airplane. I had a bus to go up north. So I didn't have enough time to like go into the city. So I was kind of just walking around near the airport, which is not walkable at all. It's like a highway. So I'm like walking along the highway. And then I see this sign that says banh mi. And I'm like, oh, yes, finally. I was so hungry. And so the guy speaks no English. And I tell him I want a banh mi and I buy it. And he gives me a loaf of bread. And a banh mi apparently is just a loaf of bread. And then there's a banh mi sandwich. So there's like banh mi bread. And now I know that at first I just bought a loaf of bread. And it was a good bread. But the banh mi I wanted.
I think in like the first 4 hours of you being in Vietnam, you sent me and Ro a video of you eating a loaf of bread, explaining that a banh mi is a bread, not a sandwich. And then you sent us a banh mi review, or no, a slow-mo video of you eating a banh mi. And then like an hour later, you sent us a picture of a banh mi sandwich. And then like an hour after that, you sent us a banh mi review.
Yeah, I ate a lot of banh mi's in Vietnam. They're so good. The food there is like unreal. Everything I ate there was so good.
What kind of food is it? Because I feel like I've been to Thai restaurants, I've been to Indian restaurants, I've never had Vietnamese food.
They have a lot of noodle dishes, but a lot of it's rice noodles. That's cool. You could eat them. A lot of them is gluten free. Just like, I don't know, a lot of noodle dishes, but they have different noodles. Like there's pho, which is long, like kind of thick, like flat noodle. I don't know. And they just have a bunch of different noodle dishes, a bunch of different noodles and flavors. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it's such a variety. They have such a variety. It's like every city or little town in Vietnam, each has their own like special dish. Like in Hanoi, there are dishes you can only get in Hanoi. In Da Nang, there are dishes you can only get there. It's like
cool.
each part of Vietnam has their dishes that you can get. So it's not like, you know, it's not like the same food everywhere you go in Vietnam. It's like they each have their different dishes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It makes you want to go to all the cities.
Yeah, I want to go back so bad. Did not have enough time.
Yeah, you'll get to go back one day, I think.
Yeah.
I've heard from so many people that Vietnam is their favorite country, which was interesting to me because I feel like before traveling around Southeast Asia, I had never planned to go to Vietnam. I had never really heard that much about Vietnam besides like the war there. And so it was interesting to hear that so many people are so in love with this country, and it seems like you felt similarly to this. What makes it so special?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Because I was just there for such a short amount of time. The people are amazing. It's interesting because I feel like lots of the time when you don't speak the same language as someone, it's really hard to like connect with them. But for some reason, these people, like we don't even speak the same language, but it was so much easier to like have an actual connection with them. Like even though we speak different languages, which I feel like is really hard usually.
Yeah.
But it was like a lot easier. Like, I don't know, like during the loop, you have your easy driver and you're on the motorbike with them for 4 days. So you get really close to them. You can't even, it's hard to communicate with them, but you're using Google Translate and you guys are just having fun, giving each other high fives, like whatever, taking pictures together. And then at the end of the day, you all have this big party and we're hanging out with our drivers and everyone's drivers are playing games together. We're all like just hanging out together. And it's weird because none of us speak the same language. We're all like just having so much fun together.
That's
just like
cool.
we figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, seems like a really special experience for sure. When you went to restaurants to get food, were the menus in English or did you kind of just have to guess?
In the bigger cities, they were. But it was weird. I really didn't go to too many restaurants because I was only in cities for like 4 days.
Right.
Because the other half I was on the loop where
They provided you with.
yeah, you go to like their cafeteria and they have this huge meal, which again is super cool. There's a big table, your group all sits down together, they put all the food in the middle, you have your little bowl and chopsticks and you just reach through the whole table and like it's just like a community, like communal eating. It's really cool. It is so much fun. Yeah.
That's a good way to meet people and make connections too. I feel like a huge thing with hostels I always look for is when a hostel has a big table instead of a lot of small tables, you automatically know it's gonna be a more social hostel because it just puts people together. I don't know why. Eating and socializing at the same time just feels easier sometimes.
Yeah, some cool things I thought while I was there was like getting to know your group at first, because like I said, it was kind of hard to get in with those guys just because they just all know each other already. But once by the end of the first day, you guys, you do 10 stops together and you guys are hanging out at all the stops, you're talking, you guys go to a waterfall together or whatever. And then by the end of the first day, you guys are all friends. You guys all ate dinner together from the same table. You all, you ate lunch, breakfast together. And then by the end of the day, the hostels were kind of cool. I didn't think I would like it. Like I walked in the room and I'm like, oh, because it's like usually hostels have your own little bed and then a curtain. But it was like a summer camp. It was like beds right next to each other. Like it was basically just a big mattress. But by the end of that first day, you're already so close with your group that it's just like fun. And it's just like you're just having a sleepover with your friends.
Did you have anyone rolling over onto you or
No,
you with their feet or anything?
I didn't. No, but one night, we drank a little too much, and I woke up like basically sharing the bed with one of my friends. We were like in the bed together, basically like cuddling.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You guys had a lot of party time on the Ha
There's a
Giang
lot
Loop
of party time.
where you were mainly drinking happy water.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's all of Vietnam. I don't think it is. I think it's more just a northern Vietnam thing. I could be wrong. You can fact check that. But they make this corn wine. It's out of corn because corn is cheaper than rice. So they use corn to make it. And yeah, it's a corn wine. And it can be like 30 to 45% alcohol. And during the loop, they give it to you. It's called happy water and it's free. So they give you free happy water through the whole loop. So every dinner, before dinner, they pour everybody a shot, all like 100 people. They do a chant and then everyone takes a shot and then you start eating. But by the time you start eating, they've already filled your shot glass back up.
So you're taking shots of this. You're not like drinking it.
You're taking shots. It has like the same alcohol percentage as like whiskey.
Right.
So it's like pretty strong.
And how did it taste?
Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was gross. I don't know. It was like, it just depends. It was like different every time because it's like they make it like homemade. So it's like, it's not like the same every time, but it kind of is sweet. It kind of tastes like sweet corn a little bit. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah. We probably took 30 shots of it every night, like not exaggerating. And we drink a lot of that stuff.
And after they make it, they stored in a cave. You learned, didn't you?
So I think it just depends where you are, but yeah, we drank happy water. Me and my group are the last people awake. Everyone went to sleep, but we're like, yeah, we're not done partying yet. It's like 1 a.m. My friends are like, we found a cave earlier. You want to go explore it? And I'm like, yeah.
Why not?
And so we go in this cave and we walk through this cave for like 10 minutes. In this cave, there's huge pots. They look like ancient like pots. I don't even know. We open them and they're full of happy water, like these big pots, like big. And then we keep going in the cave and we find this stash of just bottles of it like all over the place. And yeah, we found the happy water stash. We found it at every single hostel we went to. We found the happy water stash. It was like our mission.
But they were all in caves.
They weren't all in caves, just the first one. The second one was like right next to the bar and then.
Interesting, they put it like 10-minute walk into a cave.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
So next time you travel, you think you want to go back to Vietnam or are you wanting to see somewhere new?
I want to see somewhere new, but there's also so much new stuff in Vietnam that I didn't get to see.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Vietnam, but I also want to go back to Thailand and I want to go. There are so many places. There's too much to see.
I always say like you could spend a year in a country and you still aren't going to see all of it.
Yeah.
You could spend your lifetime in a country and still probably.
Yeah. And Vietnam's big and it has such a variety because it's so long. Like it's such a long country from north to south, so it like just has a huge variety of different things, you know, as the beaches, the mountains, like just yeah, such a variety.
It seems so full of nature too.
Yeah.
How were the bigger cities? Did they feel like big cities?
So there's Hanoi,
Mhm.
which depends where you are, I think. Yeah, like the big city part. I didn't ever go to that part. There's this place called the Old Quarter, which is like old Hanoi basically. And it's just like small buildings, but it's very crowded. But it's more like it feels not like so much city, but like a crowded town almost. Which I don't like cities. But I didn't mind it. I wouldn't like to spend a ton of time there just because I don't like crowds. I'm more like the nature. But it was still cool. It wasn't like super big city vibes. And then Da Nang was, yeah, more big city feeling. Um, but I had fun. I had fun just walking around there for a while. It's very walkable, which was nice. But again, I wouldn't want to spend like way too much time there just because I don't like the city so much. But it was a cool city. And there's a lot to do around. But like, I think the things sorry. I think what I tried to do most when I was in the city was go do something just outside the city. Like when I was in Da Nang, I went to this cave just right outside the city. I went to this Buddha temple outside the city. It was like I tried to get kind of out of the city. I noticed myself doing because I don't know, I just don't like the cities.
We spent way too much time in cities during our trip because we had problems with our visa to Vietnam. We spent like a week in Manila, which is not even just a city, it's like not a great city. And I think we both were kind of going crazy. Um I think that I don't know if everyone feels this way, but clearly neither of us do well in cities. I don't understand. I know some people love cities. I feel like we're meant to be in nature, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I know, I feel the same way. I don't know. I like a city for a little bit. Like it's fun to walk around and be in a crowded place and see these big, cool buildings. But then after like a day, it's like the same thing. It's like copy and paste. Like it's like building a block of buildings and then you walk, there's another block of buildings. It's like the same thing over and over again. It's like, I don't know. It's just like repetitive. But then in nature, or you go to these small towns, it's just all like different and cool and there's so much to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
don't know.
agree. I also feel so claustrophobic in cities. Even not just in cities, even when I would go to Virginia, I would go crazy. I would be in like this little dorm room or in my house, and I didn't have a car, so I couldn't like go out anywhere. There was one small park, but other than that, there wasn't really a lot of nature around. There was like a river, but you had to drive there. There was,
Yeah.
I would go crazy, like actually, like laying on the floor, like I don't even know how to describe it. Just like I need to get out of here.
Yeah. What I did, I noticed myself doing in Hanoi too. I just remember. I spent a lot of time. I would go grab food and then I'd walk to this lake they have and just sit at the lake, like away from people. I I think now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't mind the city as much because I had a way kind of out of the city.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really in the city. It's like I would walk in, get food, and then walk to this lake and eat food and read a book. And
Yeah. I think it's so good to get into nature and not even just nature, but I think at least for me, I don't know if you feel the same, but water specifically. I feel like I need to be near a body of water, whether it's a river, it's a lake, it's the ocean. I don't know why.
yeah, water's nice. As soon as I got to Da Nang, they have a beach there and they had red flags on the beach, which mean you can't get in the water. But they had surfboard rentals and the waves were so bad, but I spent half my money to get a surfboard so I could get in the water and I just went out and surfed for like an hour.
Yeah. There is something really special about water. But again, I don't really know what it is. I just know that it's important to my mental well-being.
I feel like even if like even if it's like an ice cold river, just like if you haven't been in water for so long and you just jump in the ice cold river and you're just sitting in it for like even 5 seconds, it just like makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
Just like hopping into this water from like just the nature, like in nature. I don't know.
Yeah. Or even just sitting in the water.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is sit by a river, sit by a lake, and just read or watch it or journal or something. I feel like that's when I feel most peaceful. That's when I feel like, especially traveling, you're spending so much social energy. When I feel most recharged is when I can just sit near water or even float in the ocean.
Yeah. After the loop, I got an Airbnb because I was like, I need a break from people. So I could not do a dorm room because I just spent, 4 days constantly with so many people, like nonstop talking. And then I got an Airbnb and like recharged for like 2 days. I spent some time in Hanoi, did the Airbnb for 2 days. And then when I went to Da Nang, I got a hostel after I was like recharged and
Yeah, I
could
think
talk to
it's
people again.
really good to have a mix of both. I don't know why, when I was younger, when I first started traveling, I didn't care. I would just always be in a hostel, always like be social, spend the least amount of money as possible. But I feel like in the past 6 months, I need a break of like a private room for 2 nights. 2 nights is enough.
Yeah, but just like 1 or 2 nights. You
Yeah.
don't need like crazy, but
But every time I do a volunteer or a work exchange, I have to have a private room after, because similarly to how you're spending every day with those people on the Ha Giang Loop, it's like you're in a room spending every day with these people, working with these people, doing activities with these people, no alone time.
yeah.
Except for when you're in the bathroom. When I was working in Guatemala, I would literally go sit in the bathroom for so long, or I would take a shower and just sit on the shower floor because there was nowhere to have alone time.
Yeah. No, I think alone time is really important.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, like, you'll feel it. You'll feel what your body needs. But it was so nice. I spent 1 or 2 days alone. I don't even think I talked, like, unless I needed to go get food or something. Like, I just was just silent
Yeah.
for like 2 days. And it was so nice.
And I think it's good to have time to process and reflect, because when you're traveling, you are taking so much information and so much experience. Like the people, the food, the language, the sights, whatever, the planning, everything. It's so much and it's so amazing. But I do think that it's good to have time where you can kind of just sit and process. And I don't know, I feel like when I do that, my memories kind of like set in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need time to like process what's going on.
exactly. Did you ever feel overwhelmed by it, or even when you were with me, like just by travel at all, or just felt easy and nice?
Um, no. The only times that like felt a little overwhelming were like when we couldn't get on our flight to Vietnam and stuff like that. But then like you can't get on your flight and you just sit down. I just sit down and I'm like, okay, we can't get on our flight. There's no point in being upset about it. There's no point in thinking about it so much because it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just worrying about it's going to make it worse. So instead, go on your phone, look for a flight to Bangkok and fly to Bangkok. Or, you can find something else to do. Like, there's always another option. There's always, and it always works out. It's not like the end of the world. Like, it sucks to lose $300 on your flight and have to spend another 150 to go to Bangkok, but
Yeah.
it sucks. But thinking about it and being like, man, like,
Right, it happens. Yeah.
it's just going to make you feel worse than if you just accept it. And
That's why I loved traveling with you so, so much, because I feel the same way. It's like something happens, you can't change it, it happened.
yeah,
So what do? You can either crash out and panic, or you accept it for what it is, you pivot and just trust that whatever happens next is going to lead you to something good.
exactly.
Ideally.
And it worked out.
And it did work out, yeah.
Um,
But a lot of people can't do that.
yeah,
And a lot of people choose not to be able to do that, but a lot of people also just, I don't know, can't do that.
Yeah, I met some people, like some people in my group. There was this girl, she super nice. Everyone in my group was awesome. This girl, like we were just all talking about our plans and how none of us have a plan. And she's like, yeah, I have a plan for this, 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 this. She's like, I would love to not have a plan, but she's just said like, I will go crazy if I don't have a plan.
Yeah.
But like me personally, having a plan on that trip lost me probably $700 or $800 in plane tickets because I booked them all ahead of time and I couldn't get on them. And then things happened, whatever. I lost so much money on flights. It was ridiculous. I will never do that again. I'm always going to book more last minute. You don't have to book so last minute that gets super expensive, but you know, you don't have to plan everything out.
Yeah.
It always works out. And like Vietnam, we couldn't get on our flight to Vietnam. If we would have gone on that flight, we would have been in Hoi An during some really bad flooding that killed like 30 people.
Really, really awful flooding from a typhoon that hit Hoi An. And yes, we would have been there at that time. Would we have?
If we would have gone on that flight, yeah.
Gone on the flight. So, you know, things work out. And the thing is, like, maybe it wasn't like meant to be or fate or something, but we had an amazing time in Thailand. And I think that whole experience was really good. Thailand is also a really good country. It's just an easy country to travel. So it's not very stressful to travel. It's pretty easy to travel. And it worked out great. I think that life is always going to have highs and always going to have lows. So if something bad happens, chances are eventually that's going to lead to something good. When something good happens, eventually, you know, something bad is going to happen again. That's just the way it works. So you just have to, it's just easier if you can go with the flow of life and not try and control everything.
Don't get mad at it. I'm so glad we did Thailand too. Like, I'm so glad everything happened the way it did. I'm really glad I got the experience to go out by myself too. And I'm really glad that we met so many cool people in Thailand. Like, I don't know. It all worked out like perfect. And I'm really glad I got to go out by myself because now I know I can do it by myself.
That was so perfect. And for me too, it was like you guys came at such a perfect time. Like I needed something familiar. I was like, I love traveling, but I've been solo traveling for so long. I was starting to get to a point where I was just like, I don't know. It was starting to feel almost mundane. Like I was getting in such a routine. I was missing home. And so you guys came at such a perfect time where now I'm able to have something familiar. And then also neither of you have traveled before. So it was like so exciting for you, which brought back the excitement for me.
Yeah.
And like the time we had in Chiang Mai, I was like, we were meeting so many people. And I just was like, so glad you guys were there because I feel like I had stopped meeting as many people because I was starting to feel really low energy.
Yeah. It was super cool. We met so many cool people. And it was so cool. Yeah. It's like everywhere I went, you go for a week and you leave with 10 new best friends.
Yes. It's like you're living lifetimes. Every time I move a hostel really, or a town or a city or whatever, I feel like I'm living another life. Especially with volunteering. I feel like you would like volunteering. I think you should try it. But it's like, okay, this month I'm a yoga teacher on this tiny island and I have my friend group. And then you move and it's like, okay, now you're a bartender in Portugal and you have a different group of friends and your routine is different and it's kind of fun.
And like leaving Puerto Rico, I didn't know that there were so many people that I could be friends with. Like in Puerto Rico, I was so picky with picking friends because, you know, there aren't very many people that like match my vibe, I feel like. And so leaving Puerto Rico, I think I had 5 friends that I'd call like really good friends, you know, like 5 very good friends leaving. And then I went to Vietnam in these 4 days, I left with probably 10 to 20 new best friends.
Yeah.
And I lived in Puerto Rico for 9 years and I have 5.
Yeah.
And then I went to Vietnam for 4 days. In those 4 days, I met probably 10 best friends. It's like,
It's so cool. But isn't it so sad that you make 10 best friends, but you don't know if you'll ever see them again?
exactly.
That's the hard part about it. But it's kind of special too because you know that you're having this amazing experience together and you know that it might be the only experience you have together. So it makes it even just
But
more intense.
especially like
No.
goodbyes suck, but like in Vietnam, when I had to leave, we were all supposed to get on the same bus back. I got on, and then there wasn't enough room for all of them. And we're like, oh, we'll say goodbye when we get off the bus. There wasn't enough room for them, and the bus left, and I didn't get to say goodbye to anybody. It was like, I just hopped on. It was like we were all talking. I hopped on the bus, and then I just left.
That's
Didn't even say goodbye. It was so sad. I'm like on the bus, like so mad that I didn't get to say goodbye. But then it's okay.
it's okay.
It's okay. I messaged them on Instagram goodbye. And
Yeah. And I feel like no goodbye is ever good enough.
yeah,
Like I always hug someone and then I think, wait, that might be the last time I hug them. And then I hug them again and then I'm like, wait, but what if that was the last time? And it's goodbyes are hard, however they happen. Yeah. So you feel like you've got the travel bug now?
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do next. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go back to Asia or I kind of want to like get a van and drive through everywhere, live in a van. I don't know. There's so many options. It's like my world just like got so much bigger.
Yeah. That's such a cool thing. And I think what you experience, of course, it's a little different for everybody, but what you experience, I think I experienced and a lot of people experience that on their first trip. Like, it's scary. You're so scared. You don't know what to expect. Maybe you're like, ew, hostels are gross, whatever. And then you do it and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. For everyone that hasn't done like traveled before, and like you might think like, oh, it's so scary, I can't do it, but you can definitely do it. Like, I don't know, people are scared to like stop working and not have a job and go do this, but like you won't understand until you do it. You just have to do it. It's scary, but then as soon as you get there and you start getting the feel of things, it stops being scary and you literally just will have a life-changing experience, almost guaranteed. I thought I was going to hate hostels and I loved it. It was scary and it was just life-changing. Would not have done anything different.
Try. You
So,
might not know you love it until you do it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's just something that's hard to understand. Feelings that are hard to understand. But let's distinguish what we mean by traveling versus going on vacation. Because what we did is very different than the vacations we went on growing up.
exactly. I think there's definitely vacation and travel. I think vacation, you go, you stay in nicer places and you're kind of in one spot, just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just more like planned out. You have everything kind of planned. You have the things you want to do. I think traveling is more you go, you try to meet people, experience the culture, go to some of maybe the smaller towns, and you just spend more time in one place. You, instead of like spending a little bit of time there just to like hang out, you spend more time like learning about their culture, learning about the people, maybe trying to learn, pieces of the language and like really like go deep into like experiencing everything.
Yeah. I interviewed my friend Bella recently who said she travels to experience, not for enjoyment.
Exactly.
And I just thought, like, that's such a good way to put it. Like, I'm not really traveling to be happy all the time, to sightsee, do all the tourist stuff, I'm traveling to learn, I'm traveling to experience, and I'm traveling to grow and immerse myself. And that I feel like is what I get from travel. I feel like I get growth and I learn so much about the world and people and cultures. And yeah, I think it's really like lowering your standards a little bit, immersing yourself more into other people and into the culture and the place that you go, and slowing down and taking time to really appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that sums it up. Yeah.
Well, should we wrap it up there?
Sure. Yeah.
Anything else you want to share?
Just go travel, try it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to keep doing it, but try it at least.
Yeah.
Try new things. Don't, try new things.
Yeah, it's true.
Go out of your
because
comfort zone.
We all have comfort zones, right? And everything beyond your comfort zone is a little bit scary. But every time you move out of your comfort zone expands a little bit more. And who knows
Exactly.
what you'll find when you leave.
I think it's very important to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Sean.
Yep.
Glad to hear about your stories.
Thanks. That was fun.
Thanks.